Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Letting Your Sun Shine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today's intention, there is an intention. um, so I did make a video and it was supposed to be released on whatever day this is. And I said a lot of personal stuff. I kind of shared a portion of my journey and it was awesome for me. But once I kind of put it up, I got really nervous. I really didn't want to share so much personal stuff on the internet. I kind of like having personal life separate, but I also like sharing stories. And so I thought, let's just redo this video. I feel like if those messages really are meant to come out, they will come out in the cards. But the video was very healing for me to release, and I feel like that's good enough. So maybe one day I might share it, but I don't feel like now is the time. So let's make a new video. So what was the main thing about that though? There's a good lesson, but one of the main things that came in was about my journey, about what I've gone through this year. So maybe I will share just a bit of what I've gone through. Total life transformation. I still don't know what I'm doing. I've got emotions that confuse me. It's very, very weird, right? So if you took my life where I was in 2023 to 2024, like not the same person at all. And so it was a lot of loss, which is no stranger to me. I don't mind letting things go, because that spirit's always put me in different groups, and when it's time to leave that group, I know the more that I try to hold on, the more destructive of a taking away it will be. So I've just learned to kind of flow and go where spirit takes you. And so this year, it was a lot of loss. It was like moving, new job, new everything, new absolute everything from top to bottom. It was weird because I knew that I was going to do all this stuff and I had this plan of how I was going to do it all. And so you ever hear that saying where it's like, if you want to make the universe laugh, just tell them your plans. And so none of my plans went according to the way that I wanted to do it. And I see now that some of them could have been, that I needed better boundaries to let people know that there's just certain things that mean stuff to me more than I let on. And how are they gonna know? So, got myself across the country, and I thought I was gonna learn something. I was so excited to learn this new area, and spirit kind of like gave me this like heads up, was like, hey, save your money. Don't just go out there and start spending your money stupid, because you can. And it's funny because I had the job, had everything so secure, and then after about a month, I was like, ooh, this job is a red flag, like a walking red flag. And I was so confused because I really wanted this, and by signing that contract for that job kind of screwed me out of being able to learn or mentor from someone else, because there's like a distance clause in it. So because I wasn't able to go and learn this new skill that I still feel called to learn it, I've been very mad at the universe. And so I find that that's so confusing. So here I am trying to give messages to people, and still trying to figure out my own shit. Because on one hand, I feel so light and I feel so free and grateful and fortunate. And on the other hand, I'm so sad because I do miss my previous life. And then in another lane, I'm so angry. I'm mad at the universe because I was like, I really thought I was following the synchronicities, and Spirit's telling me that I did follow the synchronicities, but I passed that test with flying colors, they say. It was a test, not an opportunity. And so I did get mad. I did lose a little bit of hope. There was a little bit of anger in that still. Because Spirit's not trying to like mold me in a new way. Because where I live, I would have never moved here, but I would have taken my time to get here. I knew I was supposed to come here, but Spirit really wanted me to come here because there's something that I'm supposed to do with the land. And now that I'm here, and I don't have that job, I really had to like open up and change and mold. And it's weird. I am a small town girl who did move to the city, and somewhere along the lines I did become like a city girl, and you know, I'm like fast paced and like high energy. And then to come to a small town that's humongous compared to the town that I grew up in, but I still feel like so buzzy in this place. So I'm trying to find my grounding. And so these videos have helped because some of them, this makes me so mad actually, it pisses me off. So I'll do the videos, they make no sense. And then maybe like a month or so later will go by, and then my guides will be like, hey, go back to this reading, and I'll watch it. It's exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. And being Aquarius, I tell myself like, you don't know me, but I do. And so that's what frustrates me, because sometimes it's just not stuff that you want to hear, because it is hard navigating being happy and blessed and angry and sad all at the same time. Like literally at the same time, you can be so happy and so sad at the same time. And so just navigating life. And so I made a video because there's just one thing I couldn't figure out. But I am going to tell Spirit that if that message was so important, I want them to come out in the cards a different way. And if that's true, then I can still share what I've learned from it. But I don't really want to tell my story. I love having the personal life be personal. So yeah, from that, in that video, there was this huge shift. And it's been weird. Everywhere I go has been like, you know, you see synchronicity numbers like 111, 222. Well, everywhere that I see, it's two of the same numbers with a different number in the middle, being balanced between the two numbers. So example would be like 737, or it's usually even numbers that I see. 8's a lot. Like it's just like 848. Yeah, it's never 3's, but it's always something that's balanced. And this balancing of all these things, I'm really feeling now that it has to do with not trying to be happy, right? All the time we don't want to feel that sadness. But it's weird. I have made such comfort in my sadness, and for my anger, I kind of like that too, because you channel it, and it's like anger can turn into confidence, because that anger, it's a boundary. So now you mend your boundary, and now you got confidence, and so you're not angry, you're empowered. So it's all about that shifting the energies and those kind of things. And so in that story, I did share that when I was driving across Canada from my old place, about Ontario, they came in and they shared that the guards had been changed. And so, you know, kind of got back to the East Coast. And that is when the backdrop changed. It went from the circle shelf originally to now of a nighttime darker theme. And my friend did help me like reflect about the moon, right? We had the disco ball moon. And the moon reflects the light. It doesn't emit its own. So we were still kind of working with the sunshine, but now it was more of the shadowy kind of inner work part as we went into the winter months. And so now we're coming back. I guess now it's been about a week. The guards have told me that there's been another changing of the guards. And so, yeah, we added a little bit more sunshine back in this. I'm getting a really big, huge congratulations. Because by going in this, if you've kind of just been, it's such a subtle process. It's like, right, I'm uncomfortable, I'm sad, and then just sitting with your sadness and not trying to change it. So whatever you've kind of gone in this little bit has been kind of like a ready to propel you. It's almost like scoop you up and send you into the sunshine. So I'm hearing scoop you up and throw you to the inferno. But the thing with the inferno is that is temperance. You've been tempered, and that's that balanced numbers that I keep seeing. And there's such an array or mix of these balanced numbers that I've been seeing. It's not just one consistent one. It's all numbers balanced. It's all emotions balanced. It's such a lovely place to be finally. But I thought I was going to come here, leave everything, not deal with the sadness. I was going to focus on work. I was going to learn this new skill. And unbeknown, I walked away from it. And then so it left me with the sadness. And now I got anger. And now I got all these other things. And it's just been kind of like a dump truck sorting process. So life is funny when you're trying to make your own plans. And so now, as the melt's happening again, I'm excited to see what this next spring, summer, fall. I can't wait to see by the fall, right? The fall is the harvest. And there's been so much work done that once this, like, the seeds have been planted, they already have. It's planting season. And you've already like planned in the back, and like you know where you want to plant everything, who sits by who, how many. It's almost go time. So I do have some cards because I do like to pull cards, but I kind of wanted this to just be a transition because tomorrow I'm going to be like in the video, the biggest weight is ever lifted off and blah blah blah, because I made that exactly right after I made the other video. So that one's carrying on the vibes of the other video I shared. So maybe you'll learn something, but we don't need to get personal. We can still share stories, but that one was like emotion coming out. Whew. There is a great technique, but as again, I'm going to tell Spirit to tell him to bring it through the cards. I would love to share that story in a different way. And so, I also had an insight. Sorry, I'm just blabbing, but I really feel like that's what this video is supposed to be. And the best part about people who watch mine is the consistent viewers. So I just kind of want to like fill you in if you're listening to me. And if you're being hard on yourself, and I don't know what I'm doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, I bet you're farther along than you give yourself credit for. Remember, everybody's going through something. And sometimes you know stuff, sometimes you could be the wisest and say it, and then like a month later, take a dose of your own medicine, you know what I'm saying? But as I was shuffling, the insight that came was about you tapping into your intuition. And I got the message that it's no longer time for you to sit back and be an observer, that it's time to put out those little fires. It's almost like I'm seeing a fight or a war or something, and people are all fighting, shots fired. There's little fires starting to go everywhere, and it's like that group against you. And do you got people on your side? They're not bringing people. It's just mostly you and then these people who are against you. And so gossip or fighting or whatever it is on the outside, those are little fires. And it's like, I think you were part of that group. That's what they're saying. It's like you were part of the group and then you removed yourself from the group. And now the fires are all kind of going because everybody's talking. And instead, you took yourself into the cycle from September till now kind of thing. In the winter months, did all your healing. And now you're ready to come back. It's almost like you let people trash talk your name for a while. Because it didn't matter. Because if you fought fire with fire, it just would have really been explosive. And what I'm getting is you stepped back and you kind of extinguished your flame. And then when the flame was, you know how when they have like on a candle, like and then it's still glowing, you still have the glow. It's just you're not like on fire. That's what they said. And so the thing about the glow is when you're ready to ignite and come back, it lights so easy. It's just like, so I'm thinking people are thinking, what I'm seeing is that people are thinking that you've lost it. And so they're off doing their thing. And like when you ignite back, it's going to be like, I'm hearing, where the fuck did she come from? I don't know. So there's confirmation, like we thought we dealt with this kind of thing. And so, I was at the dollar store and there were little games. And so I thought, hey, it was like $2. And so I always play with cards and things. Like to read, you don't need cards. You could just grab a bunch of sticks and twigs and leaves, crumple them up, and like tea leaf reading and all that stuff. You see pictures. You're the tool. You're the instrument. And so, yeah. But there was like little conversation, what's it called? Relative insanity. And what was it called? Yes, girl. And I just thought it was funny. So I bought everybody random stuff at the dollar store today. So, hold on one second. Oh yeah, and I have like these story cubes I bought from Chapters like 10 years ago. They're so fun. Okay, so here's the thing. It says, Lori took one look at Maggie's new living room and said, boring, boring, boring. I'm not going to read this. It's not appropriate. Let me figure out how can we incorporate that into this with the other ones. So we got 2, and then we'll just do one of these. So, boring, boring, boring. These people thinking that you're boring. I'm hearing, because the other one, okay, the card pretty much said it was about a couple only hooking up twice a year and it being awful both times. Which also goes with the whole boring, boring, boring aspect. And so I don't know why that's coming through. But that's what I heard when I was shuffling. I was like, where the fuck did she come from? So I think they thought that when your flame got almost extinguished, that you are just boring. So what do we got here? I'm getting mad chills right now. This is, okay. So we got compassion. And so they're laying, they've got the butterfly wings and they're like praying. They're like, when can I fly again? When will this be over? When can I heal? I keep hearing, please help my heart. And then the angels up there, and they're just like, they see it, and that compassion, and it's like, they don't see the wings already have sprouted and gone. So Spirit's saying, this is time. Okay. We got time to go, and then building blocks. Time to go. It's like time to pick yourself up right now and fly. It's like they're sitting there and they're praying and they're wishing for all these things, like, but it's you. You have the power within you, they say. So on this, okay, so we got time to go and the building blocks. And so building blocks, okay, I saw a couple different scenes, and I just want one clarifier. So we just got wisdom. But with that, why though? Okay, So when I was little, in like junior high and thing, not junior high, elementary school, they used to, remember in math when you used to have like those blocks that you would do at your desk, so that you could learn to count with ones, tens, hundreds, and it would make the cube. So whenever those, school came pretty naturally for me. I learned really quick, so I always had a lot of free time on my hands, and so I would color code them all. And there was just certain ones that I liked to put together. And the more that I started matching colors up, when I got older, it was interesting because I found that they kind of related to the chakra system. It was like the lower and then the upper, how the root and the heart kind of go together, the sacral and the throat, and then the solar plexus and the crown chakra. And so, yeah, because I always put red and green together, blue and orange, and yellow and purple. Obviously, there's like 2 blues, but we're not going to get too complicated here. So that's what they showed me. They showed me at the desk putting all these blocks together and just making colors. And then it took me to the building blocks, and this now became an apartment building. And the apartment building was there, and I just started seeing it like shake, like an earthquake or something. And then I was like, how does me putting blocks together and an apartment building shaking go together? And then they showed the wisdom. And so they showed, I remember the day that I was like, whoa, like I just always wanted those colors together kind of thing. And to be honest, the more and more that I learn, I learned that I already knew it as a kid. Kids are so smart that we don't give them enough credit, that maybe if we stopped talking and started listening to them, we would learn so much of this spirituality, because they've been a spirit longer than they've been a human body. And so the longer we are in our meat suit, that's when we start to forget things. Memories and stuff and imagination, those are things that need to be like cultivated and nurtured in us. And so what they showed me was that aha moment with the colors and the chakra system and things that I already knew as a kid. You know how you're just a little weirdo as a kid and everyone's like, oh, you don't like, no, there's valid stuff to that. And so as an adult, I'm getting that you're going to have a lot of these aha moments. So maybe that's that inner child, right? And they're like, where the fuck did that come from? Or she come from again? Because maybe that inner child did get extinguished. And so it doesn't have to be she, it could be a he, whatever. The inner child got extinguished. So bringing that back and now understanding how to bring in that childlike fun as you learn, right? Who cares if you're an adult and they're like, oh, they're so immature. But if you actually have that wise old soul as well, you'll shock so many people. Like you can go into anything and navigate yourself freely. So what I saw with this earthquake, being trapped in an apartment building as it was shaking and crumbling, they're saying like in any situation, I'm picking up on someone who has a lot of fear, that when they go out, they need to know all the safety routes, and it's not that. It's just like, you know, when you walk in a room and you've already planned your exit before you've even said hello to everyone. It's kind of like that. It's like, I'm that sometimes. Super crazy crowded events, I do, and I need to know where the bathrooms are. So that, and then when the earthquake kind of happens, it's like you already know that any instance, any danger, that you could hop in, and this wisdom within you will like take over, and it's almost like autopilot, but not. It's just, you know what to do, and that's that inner child and that old soul in you kind of blending and working and creating these building blocks for you. A lot of the times you've done things and you don't even know that you've done it because it was in a past life or something. So that time to let go is that something's gonna come. Stop asking for others to come and fix things and ignite your glow. It's time for you to trust the wisdom that you're getting within yourself, pick yourself up. Look at these beautiful wings. They're like monarch, but not. They've got green, so no. They're even cooler. They're like green zebra monarch wings. And there, monarch, royalty, pick yourself up. But then the zebra would be that balance again. Because it is time for you to go for what you want. Build your blocks. What are the colors that you put together? You don't have to. That was just my aha moment that I was like, oh, cool. Because whenever this lesson came to me, I was like, hey, little me knew the beginner steps of that. Now I'm at the next one. And then you'll think you know that, and then you'll learn more to it. Keep building, keep growing. Let's go back to these cards. So this one was talking about in a new living room. So there's those wings. Those wings had to come out of a cocoon. And so now you're in this new environment. So those who are caterpillars are going to look at your new environment and be like, oh, that's ugly. Like, why don't you want to be like big and fat like us? And you can't. A butterfly just can't go back. Imagine having these colorful, immaculate, beautiful wings, which is your wisdom from all the lessons that you've gone through. And I feel like each lesson is in that caterpillar phase of eating and eating. This one's like boring, boring, boring. I'm seeing that as like chomp, chomp, chomp. That's that. Yeah. And so each lesson you ate it, you digested it, you worked through it. And now you've got these wings. You grew and grew and grew. Now you got wings, and these wings can't be contained. And so, yeah. My only confusion for all of this is, what is this thing that has to do with twice a year? Let me see just what quick. Oh my God, that's intense. It went. What the fuck? It's still going. There's something to do with the heart. It came from this side, and the heart swirled and it went out. Like, it literally just made me wanna. It was so intense. And I still got the goosebumps. And it's like this energy that swoops in, and then it goes, and then it comes, and it swoops in, and then it goes. And so maybe that has to do with the twice a year. I am getting that it's a future energy. Oh, okay. The energy that I am picking up on someone is like, there is this energy that kind of like swoops in twice a year, or maybe hooks up, and it seems almost like a booty call or something like that. And so that is boring. Spirit's saying that to sit there and wait for someone, begging them or something like that. They're saying the twice a year. It did say it swoop in. So when the swoop in came, I heard that it was future energy. So I did hear that something in the future is going to swoop in that's intense for your heart. And that heart is not boring. It's not subtle. It's not anything. It's going to like head to toe, like neck, hair on the neck stand on. You'll be at a loss for words. And so that will only happen when you pick yourself up and go for the wisdom that you want to create and build. When you were in school, did you just sit there and they said, okay, put 10 of these together, now do this together, now this, add this to this? It's like, what do you want to add to it? What is your wisdom that you know? Somehow this wisdom and these blocks go together. Let me just see what that message is. I went to the green and then the blue, and then they said that the green was more of a hunter green, and then they showed it as black and blue. And now they're showing it as a bruise. And you know how when you get sometimes like a wicked bruise, and then it goes through the healing phase and all the colors and those kind of things, and it's like it was black and blue. But you still need to learn the wisdom from it. Soak it up. Learn the pretty things. Because whatever it is whatever will get you up off this floor. I feel like someone at the beginning, remember, you removed yourself from that group and they called you boring, but your flame was just simmering. It was glowing red hot. It was still hot and it was so ready to ignite. And so you're done. If that's what you've been waiting for, I feel like the incubation period is done. The wings are there. Ding! It's like, I don't know, like, yeah. So if it was like, when you're cooking a recipe, like the dinger's going, like the food's out of the oven, like you gotta take it out. That's it. That's all. Let it just bake. It's time to eat. You did all this work. And look how smart you are now. Now you understand. I'm hearing beef Wellington. Now you know how to make something crazy fancy. So I feel like we'll leave it there. Yep, we will. Okay, we'll leave it there. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.